Hello, back on PS4. Today is not a combo guide, a tier list. Play this character, I'm me trying to influence you to the Migate way. What we're doing is a series of case studies on all characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and today we're covering the mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Now at a glance, when you first see this character, man, he hits like a truck. Pressure out the wazoo. Multitude of options, mix-ups all over the place. Man, it hurts. Everything he does hurts. So if you enjoy a bulldozer, then he's for you. Now, as always in these case studies, I like to talk about characters in zones. So you can hear me talk about up close, mid-range, and far. I do this so we create grounded concepts instead of delving into terminology. It's really simple and it's easy to understand. Throughout this, I'll talk about buttons in the air as well, on the ground and in the air, supers, specials, which he has a lot of, so we might spend some time there. Then we'll slowly delve into win conditions and game plan and what he's looking for in partners. And before we start, let's begin. Now, his 5-0 up close, his -9, he's got a good range, it's advancing. He's a really good advancing normal. His 5L jumps forward actually, and it's -5, so that's kind of the ender. That's where he's going to end strings. You can't chain it. It's 2L -4, and it's a low, so hooray for people who want a low. His 5L isn't, but his 2L is. This actually hits lows, so if you throw this out here and someone does a 2L, this will hit it. So this is -4, so this is primarily where Goku's going to end his strings. Here or here. 5M, 2 hits, can cancel at any time. It being -5, so this is really good at the mid-range as well. Look, if you look at this, in mid-range, this is a crazy tool. This is 12 frames, absolutely mental. Being at -5, it's 5H, -13, but look, here it hits at the mid-range. 2H, he can actually cancel or dash out of it. So this presents unique situations. For block strings as well versus certain opponents. I'm sure you can imagine, or put your imagination there. He does some really cool things there. So those are his buttons on the ground. In the air, he's got one of the best cross-up JMs. So this hits from really up close. Typical Goku fashion. JL, nothing to sleep at as well. He also has his IAD JH. Really good button. This is a good approach tool that Goku's going to be employing most of the time. And speaking of normals or buttons, he also has 6H. Now it seems weird at first, but this button actually is a counter. So what I mean by that is akin to hit. Depending on the move used before, Goku can punish. So if that was a beam full screen, if this was Piccolo, so for instance, I need this. I can't punish Piccolo because he's not that bad on whiff, but you saw how with himself he can punish himself. So you can use this to punish beams full screen. Doesn't work in the air though. So this is only a grounded one, and it takes you right behind the opponent. Now let's go into supers. So he's level 1, standard level 1. But the cool thing about this level 1 is on hit. On hit, if you hold down the button, he gets a level 2, which does a ridiculous amount of damage. So he has that as well. He also has the level 3, Goku's coolest level 3. The best Kamehameha he's ever done in his entire life. And then he has one of the more unique counter supers. So as you saw with this, even if the opponent jumps, this isn't something that's going to grab them out of the air. So you see that it's not a grab, or the opponent really has to kind of hit you there. So just bear that in mind when you are trying to pressure or take turns away from UI Goku, because he's always his turn to play. Now let's go into specials, because we are going to be here for a while. So let's start off with 5S. This is his kind of his 5S, his traditional 5S, true string on vanish. So this is kind of a really good entry tool for UI Goku versus opponents. See there? Just like with Kamehameha, 256S, the exact same. 214S goes backwards. He has a 214L. This is where it gets tricky. 214L is +3. 214M is a grab. So he's gonna be using this option to keep his opponent grounded and going for the grab, right? That's kind of his game plan there. When he does 214H, so he can cancel any of the 214s. 214M into L. So 214M is a longer one. Shoot it up close and press L, it punches. If you press L, H as well. If you press H into L, it does the punch. H into S does Kamehameha. So he's got a multitude of options. You see, he can do S here as well. So if you do 140 into S, he can always mix him up depending on the button you press. If you hold down the button and press another button. So this is really good for mixing up the opponent. So this is what he really can use this. 214L, you saw it has in some invol there. This isn't straight away. So your opponent can stuff it. I don't think I'll be able to show it here though. So let me try and show it. I don't think I will be able to do this in this recording. It's a bit hard to show this. So I'll show you, but yeah, you can take my word for it. Be as you may. So it can be stuffed. This is actually a really good move to throw out after 6M, where you really don't want to clash with your opponent. See, he can't even do this versus himself. See there? If you don't want to clash, you can kind of throw that move out there. He's able to, on block, let's show that on block first. So on block, he's able to retain an air action. So you can do it twice. But he's obviously minus 100 million, so watch out for that versus your opponents. So a lot of people will combine this and super dash or back away. So this is a really good tool to kind of disengage versus the opponent. 22S is a invulnerable dragon punch or invincible move. So this is really good on wake up. 2S is just like obviously 5S. You can use this to kind of control the skies versus an opponents and versus certain opponents and certain assists. You can actually true Joe your opponent. Your opponent, this is all the true string. So your opponent, you can really keep your opponent blocking for a long time. See, all of that your opponent had to block. So you can keep your opponent blocking for a long time. Now in the air, he's got 236L. So this is kind of primarily an ender. He uses it as the ender at the end of his combos. 236H as well. Get the knee follow up. Rest in peace, Jiren's back. Or Dispo, one of them got hit by that. Now Goku has a unique wake up move as well. So when he is waking up, actually before I even go into that, he also has 6S. So this is a great move to ending his strings. So 6S is a really good move if the opponent's pressing a button. And Goku can obviously confirm and follow up. So whatever combo you choose to do there, Goku can follow up there. I just showed their 256L. This move is -2. So if you look at the frames, this is -2, -2, -2. However, they have their usage. So what that means is it's not invulnerable immediately. So the opponent can hit you even with EX. So it's not invulnerable immediately. However, this is kind of Goku's approach tool. This is a really good approach tool for Goku for kind of hitting his opponent there, and he can follow up after that. Now Goku also has a unique, a very, very, very unique wake up option. So let's try this Beerus. So Goku is able to wake up like this. So this move is very good. Once if you knock the opponent down, he can really mix up of already having wake up options versus what you have in the game, he also has this as well. And when he does this wake up option here, fully invulnerable. So if I choose to press, I get hit. So if I chose here to try and punish him, oh, I got mixed up there. If I chose to punish him, he can do level counter, and also if I try to punish him as well, and then you can vanish as well. So it's something you do have to be worried about. Practice punishing that. You can set it here in training mode to actually just set it to happen all the time, always active. So you can set it there as well. Now I could spend forever going through specials of UI Goku, but let's go through what we really came here for. Let's talk about obviously his win conditions, game plan, and what he's looking for as a character. Now as a character, we saw already he's a pressure cooker. We saw this. This is plus. This is +3. That means he can literally indefinitely do this. So UI Goku, by mixing up these two options here and having assists that allow him to follow up from here, he just continuously pestering the opponent with plus frames. So your opponent, I see their health is going down as well. Combined with assists, you can do this indefinitely until your opponent presses a button, but you're plus. So your opponent really has to take a risk there. So if I'm doing this all day, see, I can lose there. If I do this, I can grab. So here he can really mix up his opponent. So he's really trying to build enough bar to deal damage, because that's where what his name stands for, damage. So what I mean by the damage is if Goku was hit at 2H, combined with the right assists and extensions with 214L, you see that damage there? He's doing half health from just an opponent pressing buttons. So if I was to do 2H, this is not optimal anyway. That's a lot of damage than usual for most characters. So Goku, also his 214L, let's get some more bar. Let's do about 2.5. So primarily he uses his bar for extensions. I'm doing this on my pad, so bear with me. There we go. So he's using his bar just for extensions and really pushing the opponent. Combined with extensions with 214L, Goku's building bar to either extend his combos or building bar and hurting you with his extensions. One other thing he really enjoys, aside from extensions, we saw that with Beerus. Let's try it with obviously Ginyu. No, we tried it with Ginyu. Let's try it with Beerus. See, we see there's so much damage. So let's go for it. He also loves his ability to confirm 5S. So he doesn't look like Ginyu is able to help him here. Or Beerus maybe. So there, he really enjoys assists that allow him to confirm from here. And also when he does 236M, he also enjoys being able to convert from here. So if we do it with Beerus, see, we see there with Beerus, I was able to get a knockdown with Beerus. So he really enjoys assists like that. Let's try with Ginyu. So Ginyu probably not. So Ginyu probably won't allow him to do that. So that's kind of things you're looking out for. Now let's try with their B assists. So we saw Beerus is fantastic for helping with extensions. Try again now. Easy conversion. Now let's try it with Ginyu. Ginyu has obviously the Gildo Force, so dependent on who you use. You saw it's very variable. So it's definitely possible with Ginyu B. And now with C assist, this is where it really shines. So if we press 5S, easy confirm. So he can very easily confirm obviously from 236M. And obviously putting him in the corner to deal his most damage. So you see there that's with just that, and obviously this will definitely work with from 2H. They also allow him to do combos as well. So We saw that these assists are really helpful for putting him in the corner and dealing damage. We're seeing there from 2 H's, he's killing you. And the more bar he has, you're dead. So UI Goku doesn't really like spending bar on obviously vanishes here. If he has assists to help him not spend bar, and he can spend his bar more on doing... Spend his bar on V's combos, that's kind of what he's looking for. Now let's go over to the upside. We have Broly over there, so let's see what Broly is saying. So we have Broly. See, Broly with 5S. Maybe Broly will work, so potentially. Looks a bit hard, but probably possible. See, there we see Broly's able to work there. Piccolo, probably not so much. However, Piccolo might be able to help from extensions. So if we're in the air. See, so Piccolo can extend, and so can Broly as well. So that's something you really do have to think about when you are playing as UI Goku. Now I could talk about all his specials and win conditions and game plans, but let's talk about fighting against him. It seems like he has it all, right? Unstoppable. Now, one of the most important factors that I did not mention about UI Goku is this. When he's walking, he's invulnerable to Ki Blast. Now, what do I mean by invulnerable to Ki Blast? Well, let's show you. When he's walking, Goku walks through Ki Blasts. Literally walks through them. So let's get Broly doing this. And it, especially combined with his flip as well. Combined with his flip, if you hold a button, Goku can go around projectiles. However, there's a curse to this as well. So while Goku's doing this, his 5S. So I'll show you right now. Goku has to be really preemptive with his 5S. So characters who are throwing out these, it will clash. So you see that right there? It will clash, and then he will lose right afterwards. So as great as his walk is, he actually struggles versus these characters. He has to be very preemptive. So I have to be throwing out my 5S before they do anything, or I have to be flipping before they do anything. So that's something you really do have to think about when you are playing UI Goku, because obviously these options are all very, very punishable and very easily reactable by opponents. So you have to be he has to be really proactive full screen. So that's something you can use against him. If your opponent jumps this is not the best on block. I mean, not on block, sorry. This is not the best on whiff. So I'll go higher. So the opponent can punish you for throwing out 5S. So do be very wary of that. And most importantly, we talked about obviously his pressure up close. We talked about this pressure. However, both of these options, majority of his pressure loses to the same option. So if your opponent is holding up, if they're not holding up, sorry, if they are reacting to up or holding up, however I'm going to put it, they lose to the same option. So outside of assists, when he's mixing you up with these things, majority of his pressure is literally just that. It's pressure. As we said, it's a pressure cooker. He's not a mix-up character that's going to kill you with intense mix-ups. He's pressuring you. So yes, he's doing this over and over, but your opponent can make a well-timed guess. We saw with 5L, it's not the best option to use 5L. But some opponents will. And you see that with some characters 5Ls, they escape. So some opponents will actually just jump. So if you face a really patient opponent, that is something to think about as a UI Goku player. This is just to pressure them non-stop, to keep pressuring. You're not trying to mix up the opponent. So you as the opponent, when you're seeing these options, you're just picking your spots of when you want to escape, when you want to reflect. So picking the correct option, depending on where the assists are, and getting out of there. See how to reflect loses that. So it's just about picking the correct option at the correct time, because UI Goku's not always correct. He's just pressuring you continuously. Now let's go back to the character select screen, because we can be here forever. So we spoke about UI Goku. We spoke about as a character, he's like a pressure cooker. So he's always continuously pressuring you and building bar, because when he hits you, he really wants the hits to count. The faster you are to the corner using the 236H, the faster you are with the extensions. That's what he really enjoys. So we saw with Ginyu's A assist, and obviously Beerus's A and B, they gave him great extensions with 214L from 2H, and also the ability to confirm from 5S and 236M were really helpful for UI Goku there. So that's something that he has to that he really looks in the partner. So we saw with both their C assists, they're really helpful. We saw with Broly's A assist, it was helpful for extensions and for 5S full screen. 236M not so much. So that's something you really have to think about. Now, fighting against UI Goku, we talked about outside of assist, the majority of his pressure is just that, it's pressure. However, they lose to the same option. So holding up, yes, if you continue doing 236L, your opponent will finally, your opponent will clock on and reflect. However, majority of his options lose to the exact same options. If your opponent's reacting accordingly, them up backing versus some of those actually escapes that pressure entirely. So unless he's pressuring you, he's losing to the exact same option. So your opponent, as a UI Goku player or fighting his opponent, they have to be really smart with these options. And we talked about, as great as his walk is, he actually struggles versus the traditional 5S due to clash. So we talked about how Broly was able to do S. You can have base Vegeta, even someone like Nappa, Ginyu with the Ginyu Force, Vegeta, Teen Gohan, and even Trunks here. Because of that no traditional 5S, he really has to play their game. They can throw out projectiles, like Teen Gohan can throw out horizontal moves. So even though you're walking forward, these are kind of risks he's taking. So he really doesn't want to be engaged in a full screen quote-unquote war with these characters. So that's something to think about when you're playing him. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you liked it. Comment as always. We really want to talk about characters and not just follow opinions of people. We really want to just delve into how characters are designed and make informed decisions on how we approach them, and obviously us picking characters and strengthening them and just having fun really. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.